This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Forge fans, welcome back to another week of Forge Daily. Today is Monday, September 4th, 2023. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, here to give you all things Forge FC. Yesterday, Forge came away with a 3-0 victory against Vancouver FC, leaving them with 3 more points coming out of the long weekend. They'll get the day off today, but are back up and at it tomorrow morning for training. So as usual, to start today's episode and to kickstart this week, let's take a look into the post-match press conference, go over what went down yesterday, and then dive into the CPL standings regarding what's changed since we last checked in. So without further ado, let's start with Forge FC versus Vancouver. This would be the last time these two teams meet in the regular season. This game also following Forge's 3 draws in a row, so of course they were looking to break that pattern. One pretty significant change made to the starting lineup, as I'm sure you know. Woobens Pacius would start up top, and Dom Samuel would drop to the bench. Fast forward 19 minutes into the match, it's Resert Rama to cross it into the box, and Woobens Pacius to get ahead on it and open the scoring, making it 1-0. Just 9 minutes later, we're not done here. 9 minutes later, another great team effort. Starting with a cross from Kwesi this time, Taron Campbell would get a tap on it, over to Woobs, who would finish yet again. That actually would be Taron's first assist of the season, so he's constantly adding to his 2023 resume. That would essentially be all for the first half, but just seconds into the second, Forge are on a strong, fast-paced attack. Taron Campbell eventually fouled in the box, so a penalty would be called, and it would be none other than Woobens Pacius again to step up and finish the job. So with that hat trick, Woobs has now tied Pacific FC's Alejandro Diaz for the most hat tricks in CPL history. Now, let me just add, what an opportunity from Kadeem Kane in the 76th minute. I got to give it some recognition because it was a beautiful pass cut back from Tristan Borges. Kadeem would get a touch on it and strike from outside the box. It hit the post, but I am just waiting for one to land for him. I can't wait. I nearly jumped out of my seat when I saw that. So all the credit to Kadeem. I'm calling it now. One's going to go before the end of the season. This is me knocking on wood. All right, fast forward to the end of the game. One other notable moment, just minutes before the final whistle, Kwesi Poku would go in for a defensive slide tackle, but ultimately caught the cleat of another Vancouver attacker, so he unfortunately received a red card and will be out for the upcoming game against Cavalry this weekend. So the match ends 3-0 for Forge FC. All right, let's have a listen into the press conference, beginning with Woobens after scoring that hat trick and starting the game off with such dominance, as well as the performance of some of the midfielders like Alex Ashinyodi-Johnson and Kyle Becker.
Yeah, it's always nice. It's always a great feeling. I was able to do it last year, and to be able to do it another time this year, it's an amazing feeling. And again, like I always say, I thank God for these opportunities, for these moments, because like I said earlier in the other interview, it's not stuff that we do often, but when we do it, we just have to enjoy it. So yeah, it's always important to start the game well. I think today we did a really good job by scoring 2 goals in the first half and be able to manage the rest of the game. And yeah, of course, when you score goals, the energy gets up. So it was a great start from us. But like you said, of course, there's competition when you have the leading league goal scorer in your team with Terran Campbell. It's always difficult. But yeah, it's a good competition because we know that if you don't do well during the week, you might not start, even if you're a good player, even if you did great the last game. You never know. So that's why it's good to have these type of competition because every day you want to do more and more. And I think that's what is happening in this team, and that's why we can play well because we always know that if we don't, someone else gonna be at our spot, and I don't think anyone like that. It's really nice, like you said, when you have 3 midfielders that work a lot, that are good on the ball, and even defensively put all the energy for the team. It's way easier for us, especially strikers, and and wingers. So it's really good to have these guys behind us because they always talk to us, they always tell us what to do, and when we have the ball, we have the freedom to do what we want to do, and I think that's why we can have a good result like that.
Next, of course, we hear from Bobby Smirniotis on the attack with both Woobens and Taryn and his overall thoughts on the team's performance last night.
He's a guy in the box who scores goals. That's the one thing we know. The tough thing sometimes is you've got another guy who in the box scores goals. Number 14, Terran Campbell. He's been doing it well this year, and it's a challenge for the guys. It's not easy when one is hot, and maybe the other one's not getting the minutes. Today we went with a look that we've used in the past. To make sure that in the attack we have both of those guys in and around there. And if you do that, you increase your possibilities to score. But in order for that to work, you need to be forward thinking. And the way our movement was today, I thought it was very good looking to get in behind the opponent as opposed to playing around them. Sometimes we're guilty of doing that a little bit too much. And then when you get behind the opponent and you've got those two guys in the box, 10 times the ball's there. We know by the numbers the ball will go in the back of the net. Yeah, it's definitely what we needed. Playing some good football lately, and 3 ties in our last games, and we thought we were good for maybe a few more points in those ones, and we knew the importance of this one. You needed this one to be able to stay on some type of pace for 2 things. One, for the playoffs, first and foremost, and second is to hang on and ability to go for that first position. Sets up an exciting game next week at Tim Hortons Field. But it's what we needed from the guys. We needed to step forward. We needed to be forward thinking. A lot of things we did today was very good, and maybe a few of those things we needed in the last matches. So last time we were here, I think we hit 3 posts in the first half. So maybe that would have helped us on that one. But we put the ball in the net. When you can put the ball in the net, and then you change a little bit Vancouver's game plan. Now you make them have to play a little bit more football. And I think, if we're a little bit better in a lot of moments, we've created a lot more opportunities in the second half. But it's important in games like this to go up. We won't hide the fact that, they're a good team and they've gotten better as the season has gone on, but we've lost 5 points. Yeah, we didn't concede. That's the most important thing to win a game. We're a team that's, a little bit. It's a little bit interesting this year. It's either 0 in the back of the net or it's 2 or 3, which hasn't been something characteristic of us. Maybe after today, you may have the stats, but Tristan may have the most shutouts in the league. I may be wrong. I think he's at 7 or 8. But defensively, we've given up goals. So it's the road back that we need to keep through these next games. And like I said, whoever's the hottest team throughout this last streak will be able to finish atop of the league.
So what does this mean going forward? Well, looking at the standings, we have Cavalry still at the top, leading by 4. Now, just Pacific and Forge are tied for second with 35 points. Both teams taking another win this weekend. And trailing them by 3, we've got Halifax and Ottawa tied for third after a loss for Atletico, but a win for Halifax. So all things to keep in mind ahead of this week. Before we finish up, though, something else worth mentioning. Forge FC are having a Labor Day flash sale, so you can enjoy extra savings up to 20% off today only on tickets for our next home match. As I've been mentioning, September 9th, the playoff hunt is on, so join us at the match and help contribute to that home field advantage against our rivals out west. Tickets are starting at just $21. You can buy them online only and for a limited time as the offer ends tonight at 12. So that's all from me today. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend, and I will be back to check in tomorrow.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.